Thank you, sir. I'd like to welcome everyone tonight to the City Council meeting for Elkins, City of Elkins. We're going to start with the invocation, which will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would, please bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and all the blessings you've given us. We thank you for the opportunity to serve the citizens of Elkins. We ask that you guide us in our decision-making as we strive to help our community grow. We also ask that you watch over and guide our country's leaders. In Jesus' name, amen. I will now call the council meeting to order and ask our clerk to please take roll.
Councilor Bross-Friganera is absent. Councilor Carroll is absent. Councilor Chenoweth.
Here.
Councilor Hinchman.
Here.
Councilor Kearns.
Here.
Councilor Lowther is absent. Councilor Parker.
Here.
Councilor Pliszka.
Here.
Councilor Severino.
Here.
And Councilor Thompson.
Here.
7 present. You have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. Is there anyone here for public comment tonight? If not, we will move down to the minutes portion, and I will accept a motion to accept the minutes for the August 1st, 2024 meeting, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sorry. All those opposed, nay. Yeah, one of those moments. Okay, in your correspondence and notifications, you have building permits, zoning permits, and vacant property registrations. Are there any questions on those? If none, we'll go down to our council reports, and we will start with Councilor Parker.
No report, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. Councilor Pliszka.
No report.
Thank you. Councilor Hinchman.
Yes, sir. Finance met, and we went over the general fund budget revisions that we'll be working on this evening and voting on. And we had discussions about the building maintenance for the fire department, which we'll be voting on this evening. And then we had a lot of discussion on the Augusta Heritage and Old Brick Playhouse grant. And looking at last year's numbers that have come in 2022-23, we grew at 10.54% and added 94 new businesses in Elkins. This year for 2023-24.
Councilor, can you get closer to your mic, please? Sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
We grew at 10.87%, and we added 101 new jobs to Elkins.
Excellent. Thank you. Councilor Chenoweth.
Personnel Committee met a couple Mondays ago, discussed changes and recommended changes to the employee personnel manual suggested by the HR director and the administrative officers. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Kearns.
No report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilor Severino.
No report.
Thank you. And Councilor Thompson.
No report.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start with our Chief Wastewater Operator, Whitney Himes, moving on down to our staff reports. Welcome, Whitney.
Hello, good evening. First off, an update on the 11th Street line relocation that was passed at the council last time. The agreements were received, signed by the city, and forwarded on to the contractor. I believe the bid date starts on September 1st. They have 60 days once construction starts to complete the project, and a 90-day complete overall completion. So that's going on. The dump station project at the wastewater plant, we are short some funding, around $40,000. So I think we might have that situated. It's on the sanitary board agenda to review on Monday. Hopefully we'll be able to get that started also in September. Last week we had engineering interviews for the Georgetown sewer line extension. CEC came out the top engineering firm on that. So they have provided a PER price, and that will be on the sanitary board agenda for Monday also.
Actually, Whitney, if I can interject real quick, for the dump station, the county commission is going to try to get you on the agenda in 2 weeks.
Sounds wonderful.
So
That'd
they may
great.
be partnering with us on that. Thank you.
That'll be great. The wastewater collection storage building, we're still waiting on some documentation from the fire marshal to get started on that, but all the material is sitting there waiting to go. I had a meeting with the EPA concerning our consent decree. It looks like The technical analyst says that we have a lot of near sources within the city, which is your manhole stations, your stormwater basins, outs and stormwater basins, and manhole rehabilitation. We also have some deep sources, which is infrastructure failure that we need to work on. We had a clarifier number 3 repair. That was a pretty big ordeal. It took about a week to get that finished. And we had 2 force main breakages within a month, which is very rare. But the collection crew got that finished, and they're back online doing what they're supposed to do. So that's it. Any questions? Okay.
Thank you, Whitney. Ms. Judy?
All right, in your packet, you have July's report. And also earlier this week, we received the first TIF check from the county in the amount of $5,851.70. And you'll also see a resolution, Resolution 1782, that hopefully you all will pass so we can open up a bank account and get some things going. That's all I have. Anybody have any questions?
I have one. So how often will we receive the checks from the county for the TIF? Do we know?
I'm assuming whenever they get funds, and a percent of that could be monthly,
Okay.
but this is the first one.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, Tracy. Mr. Kissinger?
Good evening. I want to start out by saying the operations department has been really busy lately. I think it's the time of year it is, but I'll go over some key things that we need to touch base on. First of all, in the sanitation department, in the month of July, those guys hauled over 465 tons of waste. So they've been extremely busy. They do a good job. It seems like we don't get calls saying they do a good job. We just get the calls if one piece of trash is left or missed. So my hat's off to them. They do a tremendous job keeping the city looking clean. Sanitation department garage progress continues. Our bi-weekly progress meetings with the contractor have proven to be very effective in eliminating any type of issues throughout the construction process. We're, knock on wood, ahead of schedule with the construction, which is a good thing. The wood framing started on July 31st. It's moving along nicely, and we're looking forward to being able to occupy that building by the end of the year. So it's a very, very promising project that's moving well. In the street department, so far the year to date, they have applied 110 tons of asphalt throughout town for potholes and patching out cut holes. They installed a catch basin behind the new sanitation garage to help with the storm water off the roof, to feed that to the back of the lot. So we put a new catch basin in there. The alley between Wilson and Central, we installed 208 feet of 12-inch storm lines, set 2 new catch basins. And this is just the first phase in 3 phases of work that'll be done on that alley alone in regards to the stormwater team taking effect and working forward, addressing stormwater issues throughout the city. They also resurfaced the alley, graded it, added some ditching, added stone, and then rolled it and compacted it so it'll feed the water down correctly to the catch basins. Year to date, 9 catch basins have either been repaired or replaced throughout the city. And again, this is just the beginning of our stormwater efforts that's going to take place with the team that we have in place. As you all know, street paving has started. To date, West Virginia Paving has completed 3 streets in the 2nd Ward. They're currently working on 4 streets in the 1st Ward. If we haven't made it to your ward yet, don't worry. We're coming. We're going to pave streets in all the wards. So it's a slow process, but it's going really well. We've got several phone calls in over the past couple days from citizens very pleased with the paving project that's going on. I'll give you some updates on the HVAC project. First of all, the Treasurer's Department and City Court will be the first to be relocated in the very near future. Our goal is to relocate them within the confines of City Hall. Logistically and financially, it does not seem feasible to move them outside of City Hall currently. So we're going to keep them in City Hall to the best of our ability. And as we get closer to this happening, we'll get with Jeremy. We'll do many press releases so the public understands that City Hall is going under a major construction project. It's going to be inconvenient, but we're still here to serve the public, and all the offices will be open. They're going to start putting equipment on the roof of City Hall toward the end of September. So if you see equipment being placed on the roof of City Hall, that's for our HVAC system. The planned asbestos removal in the attic will take place August 26th through August 30th. So it'll be very noisy in City Hall for that period of time. However, it will be properly ventilated, so we won't have to vacate any offices. The asbestos removal will be done to standard, properly ventilated. It'll just be a little loud at certain parts of the day. I am coordinating with the contractors that during the Mountain State Forest Festival, we will not do any work outside, and there'll be no equipment stored in the City Hall parking lot, so there will be no disturbance to parking or Forest Festival activities. They're willing to work with us on that, and it wasn't a problem to convince them that was a wise move. Our maintenance department here in City Hall, on top of all their normal duties, have been extremely busy prepping City Hall for the HVAC renovation. So they're doing a tremendous job. They've been very busy, and for two people, their plate is full right now. In the code enforcement, we have issued 13 projects have been issued building permits for a total of over $420,000 worth of work being done. And to date, we have collected $3,600 in vacant property registration fees. So as you can see, we're moving along nicely. Projects are taking shape. It's going to be a busy fall and winter for City Hall, that's for sure. That's all I have, unless anybody has any questions.
Mike, I do have a question. With the history of the roof and the way it's leaked in the past, do we have concerns as we put equipment up there?
No, they went up and looked at it. We'll be okay. We're going to keep them away from the drains in the corners because that's where the bulk of the problem is. We should be okay with that.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. And to the staff, there will be some temporary parking spots blocked off over the course of the next 4 to 5 months from time to time, so equipment can be brought in, hauled out, and things of that nature. So again, just please bear with us. It's going to be a little bit of a headache, but come next spring, it's going to be well worth what we went through.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions for Mike? Chief Himes.
I just have a couple things. As of today, we're annual call volumes at 489 calls, if my memory serves me correctly. First of the month, we were at 462, so we're still trending on the same numbers that we have all year, and we're about 12 to 15% up from several years consecutively. Only other thing going on, business as usual, all the apparatus have been serviced and passed pump testing 2 weeks ago, so that annual box has been checked. That's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you, Steve. Okay, now for the audience. I know you've been waiting for this. We're getting to Chief Bennett.
Good evening. Next week, we're going to have the installs completed on all of our vehicles on in-vehicle cameras and radars, so it'd be nice to have that all done. I have 2 more coordination meetings for the Mountain State Forest Festival next week, so things are moving along with that, and we're in a good place as far as being prepared for it. The equipment for the public safety camera system has been paid for and ordered, and last I heard, we're looking at 4 to 6 weeks out on having equipment here and being ready to start installations on that. And lastly, here in just a moment, we're going to promote an officer from the rank of sergeant to the rank of lieutenant. For me, this is probably my favorite rank to promote an officer to, and the reason for that's the significance of the rank of lieutenant. Achieving lieutenant is a landmark in a police officer's career. It's a shift in what their responsibilities are and their duties are, to the point that as a sergeant, you're responsible for carrying out and enforcing policy, decisions, directions from the chief and the captain. As a lieutenant, that's where you start to create those. You start to help modify those policies and improve them. And it's your actions, your directions that are carried out by the sergeants and corporals throughout the department. It's such an important shift in responsibilities We mark that change on the uniform by changing the color of the badge. This is the rank where an officer goes from wearing a silver badge to a gold badge, just to denote the importance of that promotion. So, without any further ado,
Congratulations, Lieutenant Tice. Family members, if you'd like to step up and get photos, you're more than welcome to come up at this time. Thank you, Chief Bennett, and once again, congratulations, Lieutenant Tice. Okay, moving on down to our staff reports, we have the Clerk of the Year in West Virginia, Mr. Sutton Stokes. I may do that the rest of the year, by the way. I may introduce you like that the rest of the year.
if you must. Well, no, I'll just address that really quickly. Regarding the award that I received at last week's Municipal League meeting, I do want to thank the mayor, Jeremy, all my colleagues that collaborated on submitting the nomination and keeping that a secret until the dinner. I never suspected a thing. And another reason I never suspected a thing is there really are so many people doing good work around the state. I'm sure it's a very tough decision for the selection committee. But I'm honored and humbled to receive it. Like everyone in this room, I really get a lot of satisfaction and pleasure from playing the role I get to play in the community where I live with my family and so many great friends. So that's really compensation enough, but obviously an award like this is a really nice, bonus or cherry on top of that. So thank you very much.
Well deserved, sir.
Honored. The only thing I was going to mention, I was going to just let everyone know one of the behind-the-scenes projects going on. Jeremy has been hard at work planning, making some systematic improvements to the website. You won't see these happening because he's going to work on a kind of mirrored version of the site and make a bunch of changes to make it a lot even better organized and more user-friendly. And once he gets that all dialed in, then we can just switch over to that version. So you won't see that happening live, but that's going to be going on. And I'm excited to see that. We have 200 pages of good information on there, but that's a lot to get through, and I think some organizational tweaks are definitely needed. So that's all I have for now, unless anyone has any questions.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Roberts.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a real quick comment. Congratulations again to Sutton and also to the mayor for his election on the board as secretary. I've been to many municipal league meetings. And as Sutton mentioned, there are many qualified people throughout the state. And I think we should all be very proud that 2 people from this city have been particularly recognized, considering there are lots of bigger cities than us, and there are lots of other good qualified people. But I think that there was recognition for these 2 men who are part of the city as for their role in the municipal league and what they see as their promise moving forward for the entire state and all the cities. So congratulations to both of them.
Thank you, Jerry.
And I don't have anything else unless there's something when you get to the new business items. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on down, we will look at the approval of the vendor invoice payments. I will entertain a motion to accept the invoices as presented.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Down to new business, Resolution 1779, fiscal year 2025, general fund budget revision number 1. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
And if I could just...
Yes, you wanted to clarify something?
Yeah, I apologize, Tracy. I only noticed at kind of the last minute, there's an attachment on this that shows the transfer. There's 2 pages, and I think it's my fault, Tracy, because I sent you the spreadsheet that I reversed how you normally have the increase and decrease. So the second page of the attachment shows that we're decreasing contracted services and moving the resulting funds to other lines within the HR department, not the other way. But I think I teed that up for a mistake, but that's the intention is the second page of the attachment.
Thank you for your clarification, sir. Any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1780, authorizing expenditure from the building and maintenance account for electrical improvements at the fire department. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1781, pledging support for a grant application to the National Endowment for the Arts by the Old Brick Playhouse and the Augusta Heritage Center. I will entertain a motion to accept, please. We have a motion. Any questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Resolution 1782, authorizing the treasurer to establish a fund and open a bank account for the TIF district revenues, as she mentioned earlier. I will entertain a motion to accept, please.
So moved.
We have a motion. Any questions or comments?
Establishing as part of that resolution the bank that account's going to be opened at. I didn't see that in there.
The resolution doesn't direct it, but I'll let the treasurer comment.
I would like to take it to Mountain Valley just because of the interest that we're getting from them.
Okay.
Are there any other questions or comments? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Moving down to mayor's comments, I'll keep it very brief tonight. The West Virginia Municipal League Conference was last week, as we mentioned. It was a very productive meeting, a lot of good brainstorming. We have a couple of good leads on projects going forward and a couple of businesses that may be interested in investing in our community. So once we have more information on that, I will definitely share it. This afternoon, I was blessed enough to get to partake in D&E's matriculation convocation, where we welcomed over 210 freshmen to Davis and Elkins College. So when you see them walking about the community, please make sure you make them feel welcome, because I always open up with welcome home, because I feel that this is a good place for them. They're going to be here hopefully for 4 years or more, and that's why this is going to be their home, and I always open with that. As a matter of fact, this year their shirts add welcome home on them, so they're stealing my line, but that's okay. My wife's happy that I actually came home with all my clothes this year, because last year I gave my tie away to a soccer player because he said he liked it. She said, please come home with all your clothes. And I did, so life is good. So with that, meeting adjourned.